Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit.
And here's Brian banging the microphone.
Yeah, well, I had to get off to a good early start with banging the microphone because it wouldn't be this channel if it wasn't for randomly bashing the microphone all the time. We're in close quarters here. So, what did you do today?
We had a power outage today.
Two.
Yes, we had two power outages. We woke up to one at like 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The upside, it woke me up out of my nightmare. The downside, it was like, oh, now the power's out. And then it wasn't even a power bump because we've been having power bumps in the night recently. It was just no random outage, and we don't know when it's restored. So power was out. So that disrupted my initial plans for the morning. I did some writing today, but I like to have my computer for that, and no power messes with that. I did get some writing done, so that was good. And then we had a second power outage right as I was about to get down to working on my computer, like because I had like some printouts of my writing that I like scribble on.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I was about to input my changes on the actual living document, it was like, power's out. So that's what we did today.
Yeah. So, a couple power outages, some other fun things, some drama on my channel. Someone, I have a couple of followers who habitually thumbs down things. I don't mind, like that's fine. Like I actually think it's fine, and I encourage people to, express their displeasure with my channel through the thumbs down. I encourage it at the end of every video. But someone decided to report my channel. And nothing comes of it, right? The YouTube was like, "You've got strike one here. Don't post adult-oriented content on your channel or link to it." So yeah, I mean that was a little bit of excitement trying to figure out what happened and why the video was like flagged here and stuff like that. But by the time I got to like the whole reporting and fighting it, they had already like cleared the claim, and so it just kind of left me like confused about like what's going on here.
Well, because there was no nudity in your video. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Hey, hey people. I can't blame anyone for reporting this, but let's get started. Our first story is titled, "Am I a jerk for getting mad at my girlfriend's sister and leaving early because of her prank?" My girlfriend is out of state for work, so I haven't seen her in over a month. My 27-year-old male birthday was actually on Father's Day. Her family invited me to do a celebration of both. Since she wasn't going to be there in person, my girlfriend sent her gift, meant for me, to her family by FedEx so that I am not tempted to open it by myself and do it in front of the family. Her sister, 24-year-old female, decided to prank me by getting me something else, acting like it was the one sent by my girlfriend. So on the actual day that I was over, she gave me a small box. In the box was a positive pregnancy test. Given that it was Father's Day and all, she wanted the prank to be that themed, so she wanted to freak me out. It had the opposite reaction, actually. I was so happy, crying even. I've always wanted kids. Unfortunately, my ex, before I met my current girlfriend, and I had our daughter premature and she didn't make it. So finding out that I was going to be a dad again was very emotional for me. My girlfriend was on Zoom, and she was trying to calm me down because she's definitely not pregnant. When her sister revealed that it was a prank, oh, I was mad, hurt, and embarrassed. Yes, it was a prank, but for a second I thought we were having a baby, and now that's gone. My girlfriend was angry at her sister for being so insensitive. Her family had been told before about my daughter. I was pretty overwhelmed, so I got up and left. Her sister kept calling me to come back, and she didn't think I would react that way. I've been ignoring her sister ever since, and my girlfriend says her parents are mad at me for overreacting because her sister felt so guilty that she went to cry in her room. She completely is on my side over this, but her brother and her mom are pretty mad that I rudely left over something that was meant to be a harmless prank. For the way I left, staying mad at her sister and shutting her out, they feel that I am being a jerk. I'm too mad right now to want to see her after this, but I'm not sure if the way I reacted makes me a jerk or not. So, what do you think?
Definitely not the jerk here.
Definitely the jerk here.
No,
It was
like,
a harmless prank. There was no harm in it at all. There were no injured parties at all.
yeah, right.
Like
Like,
the Cole crying and breaking down and being overly excited and overjoyed, and the fact that they already knew the history. I mean, it just helped to feed into that wonderful prank.
no, like that just makes it a million times worse when I found out. Like, you don't do pregnancy pranks.
Yeah.
You just don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that
yeah.
because you never know what kind of people's feelings around that sort of things are going to be, and a lot of people struggle with fertility.
Yeah.
So just as a general rule of thumb, like pregnancy pranks are generally like can be a very harmful thing, and they're best avoided at all costs.
Yeah.
But given that her family knew that he had had a premature daughter who passed away, like that is just like takes it to the next level of
It takes it
awfulness.
to a really bad place. Like, if the sister knew that he really wanted kids and pranked him with this, that's just asking as a recipe for disaster.
And to be fair, it sounds like it probably slipped her mind if she thought his reaction was going to be, "Oh no, this is terrible." But like, still, you don't do this. She's old enough. Like, not that anyone should do this kind of pranks, but she's a full-grown adult.
Yeah,
Like,
she should know better than this. This was senseless and tactless.
like, what was the goal to like humiliate him in front of the family? Like, trying to keep it together. Like, oh, this is great, haha. Like, no matter what his reaction is,
Yeah.
how is this going to be good?
Yeah, how is it like? That's also not something good to find out in front of like a family, especially if it is like. I mean, I can certainly like coming from the girlfriend. That was probably like if she had actually done that, then that would have been like an appropriate response because
Right.
she would have known his response.
Yeah, like if she knows he wants kids, then like that would have been a wonderful thing to do for him. But for the sister, like who doesn't know him
Yeah.
this well, clearly at all, like that's just not at all appropriate.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify that I don't mean the sister, that the OP's girlfriend pranking him. Just
No,
literally
not a prank.
being
Just like if she was actually pregnant, that would be a beautiful way to announce it.
But pranking someone with a pregnancy, I just think is in poor taste.
Yeah.
It's just not a funny joke.
No. Our next story is: am I the jerk for refusing to move in with my boyfriend even though he bought us a house? 2 months ago, I, a 25-year-old female, found out I was pregnant and I was devastated. I have always been a planner and had an idea of how my life was going to go. I wanted to get my PhD, be married, and have a house before I had children. I decided to go through with the pregnancy, and with therapy and time have started releasing some of my control issues and warming up to the idea that life is spontaneous and unexpected, so I can better adjust to the other curveballs life and children are sure to throw at me. My boyfriend of 3 years, a 28-year-old male, has been trying to put band-aids on these problems instead. I explained to him that I've been trying to develop coping mechanisms for these unexpected moments so I can better handle them in the future, but he has been insistent that it's just harder for me and that I should just check off my boxes before the baby arrives. He has been trying to convince me to buy a house for 2 months. We already rent together, but I've been turning him down. We don't have the money to buy our dream home, and that's what I want, not a fixer-up or a house we only kind of like. A week ago, my boyfriend took me out to dinner and then to go see a surprise. He led me to a neighborhood that is notorious in our area for being generally not the best and showed me his surprise. A house. He bought a house that was being foreclosed on with a loan from his parents, a separate loan from his brother, and his entire savings. The house is in horrible condition and will need to be gutted before our baby comes. There's mold, the exterior is just awful, the landscaping has been neglected for years, all the carpets are stained and dirty, the hardwood is damaged, etc. Even with all the fixes, I just don't like the house. It's not to my taste, it's not in a good area, I just dislike it. I sat on the partially dilapidated porch and just cried. This is not the house I wanted to welcome my baby in. I just can't even pretend to like it. I can't pretend I think this was romantic. It was dumb. He wasted thousands of dollars on a house I don't even want to step foot in. I told him I would not be moving in with him. I said I would not drain my savings or take out more loans to redo the house. I told him off for making this massive decision against my will and without my consent. I said if he liked the house, he can sleep there, and I have not let him back into our place for the past week. My parents think that he was an idiot for spending so much money on a house, but think the idea is cute and that I should appreciate the effort. My sister thinks it's cute, my brother thinks it's dumb. They are split on being mad that I'm ungrateful and understanding that he was an idiot. Boyfriend's family has just been leaving hateful voicemails directed at me. My boyfriend has been alternating between furious and despondent. Am I the jerk for refusing to move in with him after he bought me a house? No.
Cute is a puppy.
Yeah. Well, even puppies
No, I
can
know.
be iffy.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah. Like
cute as a puppy. Oh, you got a puppy. That was a really cute gesture. I'm so glad that that you were thinking of me. But no, thank you. I'm not interested in a puppy. This is a disaster.
Like a house, if there are two adults in a relationship who would be living in said house, you gotta have both on board. You don't just buy a house for someone. And like Opie has been turning him down and like, no, I don't want this. And he's like, I'm gonna go buy this rundown house for you.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of buying rundown houses, Amber and I have been looking for houses, and she doesn't know this yet, but I went and bought a nice fixture-upper. We have this place in our area. It's it's the $120,000 house, completely gutted on the inside, just waiting for someone to rebuild it. I got this crazy idea to get a mortgage, and we're gonna buy it, and we're gonna fix it up together.
I'm gonna file for divorce.
Look, folks, I'm one bad house away from a divorce.
Well, if you bought a house that rundown house that is unlivable without letting me know, I might seriously consider divorce at that point. I would wonder what was going on with you.
Amber's like, you would need to seek medical attention.
Yeah, there's something not right with Brian.
So no, like mold is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
It's not a good environment to bring a baby in. And if there's actual active mold in the house, and that's going to need to be mitigated, it might not even be like a house that you can live in. I mean, if it wasn't even inspected, what's the air quality? There's a lot of things to consider, especially for a newborn child. And yeah, I mean, I can see that he really wanted to do something nice. I think it was really a very poor decision on his part. Like, don't do something nice for somebody who keeps telling you, no, I don't want this.
Well, and also it shows that he thinks his judgment is better than hers.
Yeah.
Like that he's like been pushing this on her and she's been saying, no, I don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's somehow baffled when he buys this house and she's like, no, I still don't want this.
Well, okay. What happens if this isn't like their final place where they want to end up? Maybe, OP wants to move somewhere else. There's a lot of factors here that, can go into buying a house beyond just it's here, it's cheap, and it's, fresh off the dump wagon.
Yeah. Well, and OP has expressed that, and this is my feelings too, like, because we talk about houses sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and I want the house we buy to be like one that we're really committed to staying in for the long term. And Opie has said this.
Yeah.
And he just goes out and buys a house that like is a gross starter house. Like.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. It's like, if he wants to take this house, fix it up, clean it up, he can do that on his own time and his own energy. But the other issue here is, well, maybe because it was a foreclosure, there might not be a mortgage. So he might be clear with just property taxes at this point in time. But that's also like another financial burden on them. And
Yeah.
if things are already tight for them, then this might just make things that much more tight.
Yeah, well, he drained his entire savings, and they've got a baby on the way. Like, that seems like a very irresponsible move.
Yeah, that's certainly going to help her with her control issues.
Yeah, like, and so that just everything about this situation is just like making me like shaking my head. Like,
Yeah,
are you sure this dude is really the right person to be raising a kid with?
yeah, that's my thoughts. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to pay for my nephew's schooling after he stole from me? My nephew doesn't know that I have some money saved away for his schooling. Not a ton, but about $40,000. It's not a college fund, just some mutual funds I have. My brother and I agreed not to tell him until he graduated college because we wanted him to work hard and get scholarships rather than rely on the money. I don't have any children of my own, so this is my way of looking out for him since my brother hasn't been able to save that much money. Well, he started stealing from me. This summer, he comes back and he stays with me occasionally to be closer to work. He would steal from my wallet whenever he came over and steal about $20 to $40. At first, I didn't notice, but then, when I withdrew exactly $200 and the next day he came over and $40 went missing, some of my jewelry also went missing and I realized what might be happening. So I installed a hidden camera off Amazon and saw him stealing from my wallet. I contacted my brother and let him know what was going on and that I am no longer paying anything towards his loans. My brother is furious with his son, and at first he tried to deny it until I sent him the recording and he admitted that he needed money. I'm mad at my brother because he revealed I was planning to give away $40,000 to him and I'm no longer doing so due to him stealing. He begged, sent flowers, asked Grandma, my mom, to ask me for forgiveness. I'm firm and tell him no. Am I the jerk for not giving him $40,000 now that I've caught him stealing? No. No, OP. I would have to say that you're not the jerk in this situation.
Right, like,
I think the worst part is the hidden camera and recording someone without their knowledge, but it's your house and you're allowed to have cameras there.
and Opie had good reason for
Yeah.
suspicion because, Opie noticed that the money was going missing.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a certain amount of money in your wallet and then it's lower and there's a person in the house.
Yeah. And who knows what else they've taken at this point in time. And
Right.
this was just really distasteful for the nephew to do. And I can't blame OP for not for forgiving them. And, while I think that the father revealing the $40,000 was probably not necessarily
wrong.
good,
Yeah.
I think it also serves as a valuable lesson potentially to OP's, son, in that your actions have consequences. He was going to get $40,000, but now he is not going to. So, I mean, that money's not going to, arrive to him. So, what's the point in even, telling him or not telling him at this point in time, because he's not going to get that money.
Yeah. Well, I think that the dad should have waited on OP's cue
Yeah.
before saying anything about that, but
Or even ask.
yeah, exactly.
So I agree. I don't think that he was in the right for revealing it, but I think he was just being like, look, you're an idiot. She was going to give you $40,000 and you stole $40. You sacrificed, $40,000 for $40. Congratulations,
yeah. Well,
moron.
for repeatedly. This wasn't even a one-time
Yeah, no,
offense.
it wasn't one time.
And we don't know how much of the OP's jewelry he stole or anything like that. So.
Yeah, it's sad. She's lucky. He's lucky that she doesn't actually press charges.
Right.
And I mean, a loss of $40,000 is peanuts compared to going to jail.
Yeah. So I think Opie is not in the wrong for not wanting to pay for him after what he's done. And I mean, he's old enough to. This isn't like a 5-year-old like sneaking into your purse or something.
It's not like a 5-year-old stealing dimes from a penny jar that you have on a countertop. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, don't do that, but that doesn't make you like. I mean, that makes him a little brat, but it's not like it's the worst thing.
Right, but Opie, like he's old enough to know that what he's doing is not right, and he shouldn't be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like asking people for money, he's just going and stealing it.
So this actually kind of reminds me of like when I was a little kid. Um, my parents, I don't think I was getting any kind of real allowance at the time. Um, and so I think my little brother, he was getting like a little change jar for some reason. I don't remember why I wasn't able to get an allowance, but Alan had a like little change jar. And so my parents would put money in there, right? And I wanted a fruit roll up from school. And so I stole like 10 cents and went and bought a fruit roll up. I felt bad about it for stealing from him. I didn't. I think I only stole from him like once from his little change jar. But like just thinking about like stealing a dime from a little change jar to buy a fruit roll up.
Yeah, well, my sister and I, my dad had like a drawer in his desk where he kept change. My sister and I used to steal coins out of that. But
I was a little jerk.
yeah, but like I feel like that's so much different because like you're a
Yeah.
little kid and
Yeah.
like kids do that and they learn lessons from it. Like you felt guilt over it and like that's enough to like convince you not to do it that
Yeah.
many times. I don't know if I was actually remorseful when I was little.
I was like, I had no conscience.
I mean, I didn't have no conscience, but like I think like I'll tell you a story. So we were going through my dad's change drawer one day. And it was not just change; it was kind of like a catch-all drawer, and we found this ring in there, and it was like.
Yeah.
Probably like it's just like a cubic zirconia ring, but like for kids, something like cubic zirconia looks a lot like a diamond. So we saw that my dad had this ring, and my dad works in construction, and he'll clean out sewers and stuff like that. And sometimes he finds like coins and jewelry and stuff in there, and he gets to take it home. So he's found actually some really cool stuff. So it may even have been just a ring that he found either from on the job site or something like that. But anyway, he had this ring in that drawer, and so we thought that my dad had this secret girlfriend that he was going to propose to, and so he stole the ring so he couldn't do it. I don't even know what happened to it after that. Like I think we just stashed it in our room. We're like, ha, we foiled dad. He can't propose to his secret girlfriend.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I think I did this completely backwards, but if you like this video, consider giving me a like. If you dislike this video, consider giving me a dislike, but please don't report it for nudity because we are not naked.
Very much clothed here.
Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.